What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Limitsbreak and today we're going to be making a tier list of baby shinies. After the video that I did ranking waifus, it was clear that my opinion was bordering on fact and that everybody wanted to hear it, so I should make more. Now, with temporal forces not too far off and Paldean fates being out for a while now, I think it's a good time to make a baby shiny tier list. Now, it might not look like much on the screen, but we have about 120 baby shinies in the set to go over. And now keep in mind, this is not the full arts or the secret illustrator rares, just baby shinies. Oddish and the whole Oddish gang honestly is going into C for me. I like Oddish, I like Gloom and Vileplume. They're not bad, they're okay. So I decided to change up the way that the tiers work a little bit. Rather than S through D, we've got bad, okay, good, great, and best. I think that should be good to work with. This is my first time doing an actual tier list, so see what happens. Now, Scyther. I'm going to say Scyther is... This is kind of a tough one. I'm going to say Scyther is okay, but like top of okay. He's right on the cusp of being good. Now, Hoppip and Skiploom, I feel like the okay list is going to be really big, especially for these grass ones. I'm gonna go ahead and say Hoppip and Skiploom are just right in there as the same shiny. But I am going to say that Jumpluff is good. I like the way Jumpluff looks, and maybe it's just the artwork. Maybe the artwork might be the selling point here, but we are ranking it from the Paldean Fate set and not just in general. So I thought I had everything organized when I first uploaded it, but apparently I didn't, so we're just going to go left to right because I already made a mess of it. Toadskool. This is going to go into the great category. I feel like the all-white theme going on here is like the epitome of shiny, and it's actually really good, even though I'm not really that big of a fan of Toadskrull or Tentacool or any of them, to be fair. And Snover also really embodies the snow and ice theme going on here. I actually really like the blue over the green that it normally has. This is a Pokemon that I do recognize. I actually think that is pretty good. Smoliv, I'm going to go ahead and say it's in the good category, and Dolliv and Arboliva are in the okay category because Smoliv looks really nice as a shiny, but then kind of just loses its flavor as it evolves. Abomasnow is just not as appealing as Snover, but not bad. I'll just go ahead and drop him into good. Now, Capsicid is a funny one because we know how much that Scovillian curse really hits on this channel, but I actually think that the Capsicid and Scovillian shiny are really well done. And that's probably because I'm a fan of the Roserade shiny and the color changes that they make on the petals, and the same could be applied to the peppers. So I actually like Capsicid. I think that he's pretty good, and I think Scovillian makes it into the great tier list. Now we have our first best, and this Pineco is obviously just a very simple recolor, but going from green to gold, it's just such a definitive aura. I love shiny Pineco. Definitely deserving to be in our best tier. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's in there. Next up we have Charcadet, and honestly I don't remember what Charcadet really looks like in its normal state, so it's hard for me to like this shiny, but I wouldn't say that it is bad. So it's gonna go into okay. Same goes with Oricorio. You know what, I'm gonna cut Oricorio some slack. I don't really know what it's supposed to look like, but it is black and red, and that is a strong case for being at least good. Now Finizen, another one that I'm not really sure about its original color versus shiny, but I do like the Pokemon, so I think it sneaks into the bottom of great because it is just a really good, you know, I'm being a little strong on that. Let's bring him down below Capsicid. I like Capsicid better, and so I can't do that. Now I think we have our first bad, and that's gonna be Voltorb. Voltorb shiny looks like seeing a Voltorb in the wild on the original Red and Blue. It's like black and white. It's literally, you don't have a Game Boy Color yet, you just have a regular Game Boy and a Voltorb just appeared. How the hell would you know the difference it doesn't look any different than when the games were in black and white. And I'm not talking about the black and white era. I'm talking about before fucking colored television. Which is funny because this might be something that, you know, knocks people on their ass. Pikachu is also going into the bad. There is just nothing special about a shiny Pikachu other than, I don't know. I mean, it's like you can put some stars around it and give it a little bit more radiance, but it looks exactly the same. Considering that most Pokemon have just had their color changed, Pikachu could have been fucking pink and it probably would make it out of the bad tier list. Slowpoke, Slowpoke is okay, but like bottom of okay. Not bad, but pretty much looks exactly the same. Klefki is a tough one because honestly, don't really remember what it looks like normally, and it's just kind of uninspired regardless. Doesn't stand out, and I don't think it's as bad as these two, but it's gonna go into bad as well. Electrode's right there. Electrode is bad. Just same premise. Tatsugiri, same thing, looks exactly the same. Tatsugiri's going into my bad, but probably the best of the worst, because it actually at this point it doesn't even matter. Like, what are you playing for? You know, I was in the group that came in last, but I was first in that group. Whatever. Pachirisu, actually not bad. I think Pachirisu's okay. I'm gonna move it up to, you know, top of okay next to Scyther. Palmy, it's okay. It's kind of a snoozer to me too, but we'll throw it into okay. That's fine. Next up we have Toxel. Just throw it in okay and forget about it. All right, now that we've moved past some of the less inspiring ones, I think Mime Jr. is actually really cool. I think Mime Jr. is actually really cool. I wouldn't say it's great, but I'll throw Mime Jr. Honestly, I think I'll throw it in between Capsa Kid and Finizen. I like Mime Jr. Wattrel, I think, is like, it's bottom of good. I actually like Wattrel's. Even though I'm not too familiar with the Pokemon, I do think that Wattrel looks pretty good in terms of color scheme. Now, Flittle is like, the new Pokemon are going to be hard for me to remember. It's recent memory. I only played Scarlet and Violet once, and only for a little while. And I know I look at cards all day, but it's hard to remember. They got like 1,000 Pokemon. Flittle, bottom of okay for me. Almost bad, but I'm not going to do that to you guys. Routes is top tier. I'm not personally a massive Routes fan. You know, I'm not infatuated with that whole entire evolution line, but I do think that the shiny hits, and it is likable enough for me to acknowledge that. You can make an argument at top of great, but I'm going to go at bottom of best. Tinkatink, it's kind of whatever. It's bottom of okay for me. Natu, kind of similar. I like Natu more than I do these other ones though. I'm gonna go ahead and move it up. So Drifloon is not just a different shade of purple, it actually has its whole entire palette changed, and the Pokemon itself is just good as well. So this one actually goes into great for me. Yeah, I think second in terms of great. It can arguably take top in great. Now Mimikyu, I like here the black and white actually looks really good, or I should say black and gray, because it's more gray than it is white. I'm definitely throwing Mimikyu up there. Cleffa's cool. I would say like bottom of good, even though the pink is kind of the same, the ears make it nicer. Nacli, I don't know what the hell this thing was supposed to look like. My opinion on the whole entire evolution line of Nacli is that they could have literally made the shiny different colored rocks, kind of like at the bottom of a fish tank, you know, all the different colored rocks that they have. But instead, they just reshaded it. So for me, even though I like this Pokemon, the shiny version is just whatever. And that's for the whole its whole bloodline is going into bad. Charmander is kind of like Pikachu in a sense that it's only a slightly different shade, but he does turn into a Charizard, and the Charizard is black. And that black shiny is, I love it. I would say Charmander and Charmeleon are both middle of okay as shinies, but they evolve into something fantastic. Tauros, Paldean Tauros, I don't know what the hell a Paldean Tauros is supposed to look like, but it is a black Tauros, so we'll throw it in there. Wiglet, I think they're supposed to be white, so it is orange with a blue nose. I don't know, man. It's just a gummy worm to me. Frigibax can go right in behind it. Trying to make sense of this. We have so many to go over. I'm trying to make as much sense of it as possible. Wugtrio, I do think is actually good, but we'll do bottom of good. Another Paldean Tauros, slightly above the other version because it's got red on it. Palmont, we're going with bottom of okay. Now Dondozo, similar to Toadschool, sorry, and commonly put together with Tatsugiri, but Dondozo is the superior shiny by far, and I actually do like Dondozo. Matter of fact, I like it so much that I think it's going to go bottom of great. I think Dondozo shiny is actually great. Now Relor or whatever this Pokemon is, it's going into okay. What do we do with Slowbro? It's not bad. It's not quite okay. It's not quite great. Not really that good either. Slowbro rolls into the bottom of good. I think it's actually, you know, even though it looks like Barney, it's actually a pretty decent shiny. Now, next up we have Abra. And Abra, I would say, even though I love Abra and the whole evolution line, Abra's bad. Abra's shiny is bad. It literally looks the same. In terms of bad, I think actually, let's move these guys down here. Move Abra like right here. It's pretty bad. All right, Shinx, this is going into best tier. I'm not even a big Shinx fan personally. I don't ever run Shinx or Luxray. Don't really care to capture them, but that's a nice shiny. That is a great shiny. Tabasco, Rabasco, whatever. Bottom of okay. Honestly, it's got like a Spirit Bomb going on. Maybe I gotta respect the Spirit Bomb. You know what? I'll put Rabasca up here. Now when it comes to Entei looks like this could have just been the original design. There's nothing really too prominent about the shiny. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I haven't laid eyes on Entei in a long time. Maybe I have no idea what quality is. Maybe my opinion is not factual. But I'm gonna go ahead and put Entei at like, he's middle of okay. Just to put a little bit of respect on Entei's name. Armarouge does have golden armor, so I'm gonna have to let him slide at the bottom of good. Raichu at least is kind of distinguishable, more distinguishable, I guess, than Pikachu. So I wouldn't say Raichu is bad, and that's just because Raichu has more going on in its design than Pikachu does. So you can kind of see, but I'm still gonna have Raichu come up at the bottom of okay. Paldean and Tauros, they're just gonna kind of go into the same spot just because the Tauros is black. And that just goes well with most Pokemon. Ceruledge, I actually think is pretty good. Not golden armor good, but good nonetheless. And this is where I start getting a little biased because I think that Starmie is great. Starmie is great, and I would even go as far as I'm feeling Snover bottom of great. Yeah, there it goes. Reworked it. Veluza. Actually, kind of cool looking. Don't remember what it really is supposed to look like, but I think I could sneak Veluza in here. Palafin, not as good looking as its baby shiny. I think Palafin can go top of okay with Scyther. Arctibax, similar treatment, but not. Kirlia, I think Kirlia is not quite as good as Routes, but I think that it is still a great shiny at the bottom of great though. Thundurus is okay. Palmo, where's the rest of his squad at? They'll put him like right there. Kilowattrel's good. I think it's an improvement. Mankey is a Pokemon that I do like a lot normally, and I don't think that its shiny is terrible. I'll let it slide into the hierarchies of okay. Drifblim, I think, is good. Nah, I don't think I can put Drifloon up there and not put Drifblim up there as well. So I gotta slide in Drifblim, but I do like Drifloon just a little bit more. Baxcalibur, it's kind of cool, I guess. We'll let it slide. Now, Lexio to me is a downgrade from Shinx, but it's still good, and it's going to turn into something great. You can put it down here. However, Luxray going straight into best because it is a definitive upgrade across the board from Luxio. However, I still think that Shinx just really encompasses shiny much more. It's just all the gold. It's all the gold, to be honest. Now, this next one, I know if you guys watch a stream, you know that I really wanted to pull this card. Staryu might be my favorite shiny. If not, it's close. Interchangeable between the Pineco and the Staryu. The Staryu, just, I love it. That's really all there is to it. I think Tinka and Tinkatuff and Tinkaton are going into bad. They're just Wigglytuff is okay. Not particularly fond of Wigglytuff. Xatu is pretty much the same as its pre-evolution. Kadabra is also bad. Doesn't look any different. Toxtricity, I don't even like this Pokemon. and it doesn't really look that good to me. Toxtricity might have to go into bad. I'm trying to respect. I know we got some Toxtricity fans out there. Trying to put some respect on his name. We'll move him into okay. Better than Palmy, that's for sure. Annihilate, bottom of okay, slightly above Wigglytuff. And Riolu is best. He's going to best. You know what? No. Move Riolu down a little bit. Riolu is going into great. Lucario is going into best. Primeape, I like Mankey, and I know I moved Mankey up there because of my, bias towards Mankey, but Primeape and Annihilate are not that good. Dashbun is garbage Pokemon. Houndstone is whatever, also garbage Pokemon. Spiritomb is a great shiny. I would never be mad about catching a Spiritomb shiny. Hawlucha, we'll let him slide into the bottom of good. Limit, I don't know what it's supposed to look like, but it's going into okay, some random spot, don't care. Wooper, same thing. It's already had multiple color changes. It's a Paldean Wooper. I don't know what it's supposed to look like anymore. Murkrow, I think, is actually pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and throw him up there in front of Jumpluff in good. Maybe in front of Finizen too, to be honest. Sneasel's good. Bottomish of good. And I think that Weevil is definitely better. Sableye. Now, Sableye is kind of like Pineco, except for not quite as good because it's more like a dull. It's got like a little tan in it or something. It's a dullish gold. So I'm going to put him into great above Luxio because I'd rather have that. Bisharp, Pawniard. So I think this whole bloodline of Pawniard, Bisharp, and Kingambit, they all improve upon each other, and the color scheme is really, really good. So I think respectfully, they all go into great together. I wouldn't be mad at you for keeping it at any stage of its evolution. I know Pokemon wants to push Mabostiff. It's just a whack Pokemon. I'm not seeing it. Maybe somebody else is seeing it. Maybe other people are liking it. Mabostiff down here in the dumps. Shroodle's a cute little thing. I know a lot of people like Shroodle. I don't know what the hell it's supposed to be, but I'll let Shroodle slide above Mankey, as well as Graffiti, whatever the hell this thing is supposed to be, like a graffiti squirrel. I don't know. Scizor is super dope. Honestly, coming in at the bottom of great, but it's just a simple recolor that just works. Varoom and Reveroom are pretty dope. I mean, can you imagine having a golden engine in your car? But I'm gonna let him slide at the bottom of great. Noibat looks pretty cool. Don't know what he's supposed to look like, but we'll let him slide. Cyclozar is kind of whatever. We'll just throw him in there. Shiny Pidgey is pretty uninspiring. I'm gonna have to go with bad on this one. And I love Pidgey. It may be like top of bad, but does that really matter? Jigglypuff is kind of same as Wigglytuff. Nothing special there. Doduo is okay, and I would say Dodrio is an improvement, so I don't mind putting him up there in good. And then I think Ditto's got to go into best. It's a simple color change, but in this case it just works. I don't know. Am I wrong? I can't be wrong, right? Snorlax, this is lazy, man. But I'll put a little respect on his name, and I won't put him in bad. I'll just put him at the bottom of okay. How are you gonna put Pelipper in okay, but Pidgey in bad? You're right. Wingull and Pelipper are only slightly better, so they'll go there. Squavit, bad. Greedent, bad. Okay, here we go. The legendary Lechonk, Pokemon's pride and joy for the Scarlet and Violet era. Lechonk just looks like a pig that finally got a bath. That's really it. It kind of reminds me of a Neapolitan ice cream, and I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. I think Lechonk actually makes it into good. And then Oinkloin, you know they talk about putting makeup on a pig? That's pretty much what they did with Oinkloin, and it's like, I don't care. It's going into bad. Tanimus and Mousehold, I'm not sure what the hell they looked like before, but they're all white, which I guess is kind of cool. And then by that metric, put Toadschool and Dondozo up pretty high. So I'll let them slide at the bottom of good. That's the best I could do for them. And Flamigo is just like, throw a dart at the dartboard, and I'll throw it at the bottom of okay. Wow. So that was a lot. We had 120 baby shinies that we put in. Hopefully this recording isn't too long, and hopefully the whole entire tier list can actually make it onto the screen and still be somewhat visible so that you guys can see the same thing that I'm seeing here. The crazy thing about ranking baby shinies, especially 120 of them, is that what defines best and what defines bad, those bars and metrics start to shift a lot the more you look at more Pokemon. But at the end of the day, it's all for fun, and it's just an opinion. What shiny do you think is the best? Which shiny do you think is the worst? I'm not going to tell you to drop your list below, because 120 would be a long ass comment. You can do it if you want to. I've been yapping for like 45 minutes and I got to cut this way down. My mouth is getting dry. So I think this is a good place to end it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think down below. Drop a like and make sure you're subscribed. Appreciate y'all. Limitsbreak Community 2024. We beating Apollo some more. Peace.